After 12 o'clock noon today, Lancaster County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to a domestic disturbance at a business along Highway 6 inside the city limits of Waverly. During the investigation of that domestic disturbance, we identified a vehicle that was believed to be involved in that disturbance, and we were looking to make contact with the driver. In attempting to contact the driver, a traffic stop was initiated and a pursuit ensued from that point. Deputies were assisted by Nebraska State Patrol troopers during the pursuit, and the pursuit ended here right behind me at Highway 6 and Amberley Road, where deputies and troopers were able to use tactical intervention techniques to bring the vehicle to a stop behind us. Once they were at the scene here, the driver continued to resist arrest, and deputies and troopers did have to use various levels of force to take the driver into custody. We believe at this point that at least one round was fired by law enforcement during the process of taking that individual into custody, and we are working to determine the full sequence of events about what happened during the incident here today. The Lincoln Police Department is going to be conducting an investigation into the officer-involved shooting. We have standing agreements amongst law enforcement that share jurisdiction here in Lancaster County. And since we had deputies and State Patrol had troopers that were involved in the initial incident, the Lincoln Police Department is taking the lead on that investigation. I can relay to you that the driver of the vehicle has been identified as Trenton Engel, E-N-G-E-L, 34-year-old male of the Lincoln, Nebraska area, and he was transported from the scene here with non-life-threatening injuries.
About the pursuit, do you know, can you get into a little bit of detail, like how the vehicle ended up where it is?
Yeah, we know that the driver was driving recklessly during the pursuit, and it's been at least reported that the driver was swerving and attempting to ram law enforcement officers during the course of the pursuit, and that's why it became necessary to surround and pin his vehicle here at the end of the pursuit, which is what you can see behind me.
Were stop sticks at all used?
Stop sticks were deployed at some point during the pursuit. We're still too early in the investigation to determine whether those were effective or not, but we did have a number of cruisers that were damaged during the course of taking Mr. Engel into custody, which you can see behind me.
Were any civilian vehicles damaged at all in the reckless driving?
At this point, we're unaware of any obvious damage to any third parties. We're unaware of any injuries to third parties. There were some deputies and officers that did receive non-life-threatening injuries. We're thankful that they are all okay, that there was no loss of life in what was certainly a very dangerous and very dynamic incident today. But we also just want to thank all of our law enforcement partners, deputies, troopers that answered the call today and brought what was a very dramatic, dangerous situation to a safe and successful conclusion with relatively minor injuries given the severity.
What non-lethal force did you guys deploy?
So the Lincoln Police Department will be doing a full investigation to determine exactly what was deployed, but I do know that there were some non-lethal, less lethal types of tactics that were deployed. Tasers. I believe there was pepper spray that was used in the arrest at the end of this pursuit.
Was the injury why the driver was hit in hospital? Was that due to the non-lethal, or was that due to the crash?
That's going to be part of the investigation to determine exactly what injuries the suspect sustained, and at what point in this incident they were caused.
Do you know who fired that shot?
At this point, we're still too early in the investigation to release that information, but we hope to release more information tomorrow morning on Wednesday at our Wednesday morning press briefing.